so I'm home and I had a chance to mess with it a little bit, but here it is. My 2011 Honda CRZ. Had quite the adventure, going all the way over to Maryland, finding it, and I found it first, and then flying all the way out to Maryland, checking it out, picking it up, and then driving it all the way home. It was just so much fun. Um, Took the Pennsylvania Turnpike, took the Ohio Turnpike, which is amazing through all of that. It was nice and comfortable. The stereo works great. It's just fantastic. I absolutely love this car already. Yeah, this is enough of me showing you guys my ugly mug, and let's actually look at the car. So here it is. So I didn't really get to show you guys really in depth around the car when I was in Maryland, because I really had to get home really quick before it got too late. I did get home around midnight-ish. It was about an 8-hour drive from Maryland, so the drive wasn't too bad, and I had a lot of fun driving it. And I have so much plans for this thing, and I've already done a couple things, and I'll talk about that. But let's talk about the car as I've got it right here. So just doing a quick little walk around the car. The thing about the car that's kind of nice is in pictures and in video, the car looks absolutely pristine, especially in this white color. When you do see it in person, though, it's not quite in the best condition. Exterior wise, cosmetic wise, but I'll go over that. So this is a 2011 Honda CRZ. This is the base model with the 6-speed manual. Basically, the only things you don't get on the base model, you don't get the like the SI style sport metal pedals, like the metal sport pedals on it. You don't get the nice leather wrapped SI style shift knob. You don't get the subwoofer, and you don't get, if you get the navigation model, which is 2 trims above this one, obviously you don't get the navigation system. And you don't get heated side view mirrors. But other than that, I think that's the only thing that the base model is missing out on, which heated side mirrors are nice, but not that big of a deal, honestly. The subwoofer would have been nice, but honestly, this has the same system. The base model of the CRZ has the same sound system that the top trim Honda Fit of this generation had. And my 2009 Honda Fit Sport, I love the speakers in that, and the speakers in this are just as good. So no complaints about the speaker, not even missing the subwoofer that much, honestly. And then the sport pedals would have been nice, but you know, that's a minor thing. That's not that big of a deal either. The lack of the shift knob, the OEM shift knob is really nice. I really like the OEM shift knob, and if I had it, I would have kept it on there. But that's also not a big deal. Shift knobs are pretty cheap and easy to replace, so I have an aftermarket one coming in. So yeah, just really nice. I just really love this thing. So let's go over some of the good and some of the bad. Later on, I will do like a top 10 things I hate and like about this CRZ. Well, actually, this is kind of the same video, so I'll just talk about it here. So I'm not gonna do them in any particular order. I'm not gonna list them or anything like that. I'm just gonna point out something good and the bad. So let's start with the good. Start with the bad first, so we can end on a good note. It's kind of in the shade a little bit because of the house, but you can see there's some cosmetic issues with it. Major ones, like there's a huge scrape down here. There is supposed to be a like a plastic skid plate thingy in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it right there. You can see the engine and transmission. You shouldn't be able to see that. This should be covered up by a plastic cover, but that's missing. In Maryland, they require front plates, so I had a front plate bracket here, which I took off, so that left a hole here and kind of a discoloration in the grill. But I'm thinking about changing out the grill anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. And worst case scenario, if it really starts to bug me, I'll just slap the license plate bracket back on. It's not that big of a deal. I like the look of it better without the bracket though, especially since in Michigan we don't require front plates, or we don't even have front plates. Another thing you can see right on camera is right here. There's a big black mark on the hood, and then the hood also has a lot of chips and stuff on it, a lot of rust spots. So that needs to be fixed or addressed at some point. Over here, this driver's side mirror has been hit slightly, so you can see the bottom here is kind of coming off, and then this part's broken. But the turn signal over here still works. You can see it's been hit right there. What else? Okay, so over here we have some scratches as well, some marks. A lot of scratching in the door handle area. Over in the rear, we have this huge little black mark going down the bumper. I don't know what that's from. And then all around where the diffuser is, all of that has chips on it. And the diffuser itself is actually also kind of starting to come off a little bit. It's not completely clipped on, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But as long as it doesn't fall off, I don't really care, honestly. And these are all minor things that can be addressed later, so that's not really that big of a problem, especially since I got a pretty good deal on it. Exterior stuff is always last priority for me. I'm more concerned about the structural integrity and the overall mechanical performance of it, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, more marks down here, more scratches over here, scuff over here in the rear bumper on this side. All of the wheels have some sort of curb rash on it, which is a little bit unfortunate. Don't mind it being a little bit dirty because it has been raining recently. But yeah, those are some of the major things. But all over the car, the paint overall has these like kind of, it doesn't really pick up on camera very well, but has this like black smudges all over it. And it's not actually from the car being dirty, because I have washed it. It's actually kind of been, the paint's been kind of contaminated by like oils and like hand oils and stuff. You can see this like fingerprint marks kind of, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's kind of smudged. The plastic trim on the door here, that's also kind of worn out and smudged with like fingerprint grease and stuff on both sides, so that needs to be addressed. The trunk lid here, this little black plastic spoiler piece has a lot of scratches on it because the previous owner used this as the handle to like close the trunk, so that's why that's like that. And I believe the headlights, both headlights are kind of faded, so I have a headlight restoration kit for that. The wipers were also worn out, so I need to replace those as well. And then all four brakes need replacing. You can see they're pretty badly grooved and glazed a little bit, both front and rear. So I have brand new brakes, rotors, pads for front and rear coming in for it, so that's not a big deal either. I just had to top off the brake fluid a little bit because it was a little low, and I had a kind of a scare where the brake went to the floor because it lost hydraulic pressure for a second, so that was kind of scary, but it's fine now. I will be getting a full brake fluid and clutch fluid flush done after I do the brakes anyway, so it's also not a huge deal. The TPMS sensors I also got replaced today because that was not working either. But yeah, even with all the stuff that's wrong with it and all the stuff I had to do to it so far, I still met within my budget, so I'm still really happy with it. I managed to talk the owner down a little bit, so I had a little more wiggle room, especially since I had to agree on a price before I could fly out there. So it seemed to have worked out pretty well. And even though it seems like a long, extensive list of stuff that are wrong with it, overall, the car is in pretty good condition. Everything that needs to work works. There's no bent panels. There's no major rust anywhere. And this is a rust belt car, so it's doing fine. It's honestly cosmetic, like the little cosmetic stuff, it doesn't even bother me. I don't even really care. But Having talked about all that, let's go over some stuff that I do like about it. So overall, just the overall look of the CRZ, I absolutely love. I've loved the CRZ ever since it came out. It came out when I just around when I started high school, and ever since it came out, I've always wanted one. And I had a family friend who had a black EX Navigation with a 6-speed manual. I drove that one, and it made me want it even more. Like after that, this has been one of my dream cars that I've drooled over for a long while, but because of a lot of circumstances, like life-wise and all that, didn't really fit into my didn't really fit into my budget, and two, it didn't really fit into my lifestyle. So finally, I've gotten to the point where I can kind of the cars have gotten a lot cheaper because they're old now, and I'm at a point in my life where I can afford to just drive around a 2-seat hatchback. So that also helps a lot. The white paint is also really nice. If I got a CRZ, I really wanted either a white one or a blue one. More leaning towards the blue because I like the blue, but the white one is one of the colors I really wanted. If you don't know, white is the one that Spoon uses for their street version, the street tuned CRZs. So that's kind of why I really wanted a white one. I usually don't really go for bland, basic colors like white and black and gray. But for this car, just because of Spoon, white is a color that I thought would be really cool. And I have it in one of my dream colors. So that's also super cool. This is also the 2011 version, which means it has the nickel metal hydride battery pack, opposed to the lithium battery pack. So this one does only have around 122 horsepower, whereas the newer 2013 and up lithium battery ones have a around 130 horsepower versus 122 of this one. So a little bit more power, a little bit faster. So this one is actually slower than my old Honda Fit was, but a lot of stuff about it is already a lot better than my Fit was. My Fit was modified, and this CRZ in stock form handles way better than the Fit did out of the box, and even with modifications, and has a lot of stuff that I had to upgrade on the Fit that this already has. So some of that stuff is the 5-lug wheels and hub. It has 195 width tires from the factory, whereas on the Fit I had to upgrade to 195 width tires. Yes, I know 195 is not very wide, but I had to upgrade to that on my Fit. This has a lot more torque, so even though it's not objectively faster from the driver's seat, because it's so low, the bucket seats in it, and just the overall presence of it, it feels faster. Especially with the torque, it feels faster and more enjoyable to drive than the Fit did. Being a 2-door, also it looks cooler to more people than the Fit would. The Fit did. The Fit kind of looks like a minivan, which personally I really like, but this definitely objectively looks better, or to most people anyway, than the Honda Fit. So this thing also has the rear disc brakes, which my Fit did not have. That had drum brakes, which I absolutely hated. Like I mentioned, the bucket seats are really nice. They hold you in really well, and they look really cool. So my only complaint about them is because they are gray cloth, they tend to get stained and dirty really easily. So you have to be really I have to be really careful getting in and out of this car, making sure nothing gets really dirty. Same thing with the door panels. I actually like the gray for once because it's a white car. I think it kind of goes with it. But being a light colored panel and cloth, it does get dirty really easily, but that's not a huge deal to me either. Just clean it, I guess, which I tend to keep my cars pretty clean, even though I do drive them hard. Just doing circles around this thing, just looking at it. But yeah, like I was saying, I got kind of off track. This one does have the nickel metal hydride battery pack instead of the lithium pack, so it has less power, but and it's because it's also a lot heavier in the rear, but for me anyway, that extra weight in the rear kind of makes it a little bit more enjoyable to drive in the twisties. It kind of has like the weight balance a little bit like a mid-engine car, because the heavy battery pack is right around here on the chassis. So there's a good amount of weight here and a good amount of weight in the front from the engine and the hybrid motor. So I feel like it's a pretty good balanced package there. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that's really nice is the previous owner was really nice and got the whole interior of the car detailed for me. So even though the outside is really rough, I don't actually really notice that much, because the interior is so clean and so nice. It's a little dusty because I've been driving it, but look at that. There's a little scratch right there. Not a big deal. But other than that, oh, also, the carpet. I don't have carpets in here right now. I don't have the mat right here, because this clip where the mat is supposed to attach to came apart from the floor, so it's not really holding on really well. So I have to fix that before I can put a mat in it. Otherwise, I'll get stuck on my foot, and it's kind of dangerous. Being a manual, you have to move your feet around a lot, and you don't want your feet to get snagged. But yeah, the interior is really nice, really clean, and in pretty good condition. And it also has the all-season mats included with the car, which is also pretty good, because I like to have all-season mats. Here in Michigan, with all the salt and snow and stuff in the winter, the carpet tends to get really gross, so I really like having the all-season mats. I don't know if this was an option or not. I don't quite remember, because I've never driven the CRZ at night until I bought this one. But this one has the blue interior light here. So if I turn the light on, can you see it? Can you see it? Right there. It's a blue light right there. And it kind of illuminates this cup holder area in blue, which matches the blue of the radio and the gauges and the buttons and stuff. And it just really feels really cool. And I really like that. The gauges are also super cool. They're this like trippy, like 3D deal going on. If you put the hazards on, the indicator light kind of like, it's like a hologram. That's like really cool, I think. The automatic climate controls right here too, which is really easy to use. All the buttons feel really nice. I really like this Fit based radio. I love the radio in my Fit, so really nice that this has the same thing, just in a cooler looking package. Over here we have the Econ, Normal, and Sport buttons. I love this area right here as well. It's very driver focused. Makes it really feel like a driver's car, and makes it feel like a futuristic like spaceship or race car or something. Just really nice. The base model doesn't have the leather wrap steering wheel, but that can be changed at some point. And also with COVID right now, honestly, this like vinyl is a little bit more hygienic because it's a little easier to clean. Oh, let me show you for you guys that don't know. When you start the car, so when you put the key in, it starts glowing. You turn the key. Look at that. That's so cool. I just absolutely love that animation that happens. I think it's super cool. Here we have the 6-speed manual. My shift knob is broken. The little thing came off while I was driving. Looks like it was built kind of cheap, but I have a new one coming in, like I mentioned, so I don't really care about that. The shift boot has this nice blue stitching on it, which I really like the blue stitching. If I got the leather wrap steering wheel, it would also have blue stitching, so that's also pretty cool. Getting out of the car. Oh, also this is not a feature that I knew when I drove one like 10 years ago, but in my years of drooling over this car, I also found that there is a cooler vent here. So this vent directs AC air into the glove box. So if you have water or something that you need to keep cool, you can keep it in the glove box. So that's pretty neat. Also, driver's side, it's got a mirror. Passenger, too bad. And then this map light is out, so I have to fix that. But some just new car stuff. It's got this nice cargo cover, and then also a all-season mat in there too. That's also really nice to have. And the little, like, I don't know, I forgot what this was called, like the struts for the little what are you called? The gas strut things for the trunk also works. It's not worn out or anything, so I didn't have to replace that, so that's nice. But yeah, I've been talking about this thing quite a lot. I did a couple changes to it. Like I mentioned, I had to fix the TPMS sensor. I swapped out the windshield wipers for brand new ones. I put some jumper cables in the back. I have a headlight restoration kit in my garage, so I'm gonna do that soon. And you can see the fitment on it is not as terrible as normal stock wheels would be. You can see that's kind of pretty much flush and like even with the fender, and that's because I put 20mm spacers on all four sides. They are the ones that have the actual studs on them, so they shouldn't fall off while I'm driving. The previous owner also put brand new Toyo all seasons on it, so didn't have to worry about that, so that's really nice of her. And then I also did a muffler delete on it already, so it already sounds amazing. So this has been a really long video and a really long trip, and I hope to keep making CRZ videos and just really enjoying this for many years to come. So I had a lot of fun making this video and finding this and driving this. I'm a very happy camper. So yeah, I'm gonna close this video off with the exhaust clip, and I will see you guys next time. Hi, Amazon driver.